I feel like something that's way overlooked is even the highest performing people get anxiety. They have things that they're concerned about, and it could be things that are relevant, but I've noticed that it's true what they say about fear. You know, threats are a very real thing. You know, a threat to your life, a threat to your well-being, you know, sickness, illness, you know, maybe you might have legal problems. You know, a threat is a very real thing, but fear, it truly is something that we create. And it's a result of us being attached more to the outcome than we are to the output. Man, I've caught myself stumbling. That's the biggest stumbling block, I feel like, is, you know, I was talking to one of my best friends, my cousin, my business partner the other day, and we were talking business moves. You know, we just got out of a conference, like high performers, 7, 8, 9, 10-figure earners, like our minds were blown. And he had said something, I forgot exactly what he had said, but my response was, the Bible says, the parable says, knock and it shall be open to you, seeking you shall find, asking you shall receive. Not try to figure out how, not try to work it out. It says knock, it says to ask, it says to seek. Those are all verbs, those are all actions, and in no place in that is it telling you to contemplate how these things are going to get done. And that's what fear comes down to. That's what it happens, right? They say that the mind is a garden, and in any garden, and this is something famously said by Earl Nightingale, you can plant nightshade, and you could plant corn right next to each other on the same plot, and they will both grow, and they will both grow to the fullest capacity. As capable as we are of putting our mind onto things that are going to benefit us or staying on track, it's very easy for us to be overwhelmed and concerned with the outcome. But in the midst of us being concerned about outcomes, we're not aware of those things. And I asked a mentor, you know, a new friend of mine, Nano Torres, I asked him, I said, how do you manage to maintain self-awareness while not being self-critical, but being honest with yourself about the progress you're making? Because it's one thing to make progress, but another thing to have enough self-awareness to not be self-critical, right? And what he mentioned was, it's essentially, he mentioned your output, and he mentioned it's your journaling, it's your routine, it's your ritual, it's how you're grounding yourself in your day-to-day life. And I find it ironic because it's always about the basics, but the things that are the easiest to do are also the easiest not to do. And so what ends up happening, right, is it creates a cycle. Some people are familiar with this cycle, right? Your thoughts turn into feelings, your feelings turn into your actions, and your actions determine your results. And thus you will know them by their fruits. Now, when we're in this hyper stress state, right, survival, and we've been wired like this for centuries, for millennia, right? That's the human condition. In that humans are wired to want to conserve energy. So oftentimes we're trying to get the maximum outcome with the minimal amount of output possible. That's why we have homeostasis, because our body is self-regulating and self-correcting. It's almost like a thermostat. So we don't have to expend as much energy. And that's really what it comes down to, I find, is that if we can focus more on the output than the outcome, then you'll find that everything that we're concerned about is just an illusion. It's just more focused on what we're getting than who we're becoming.